Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been MIA, missing in action, for a couple of weeks now, but I'm back, and I'm back to start off with Dale. I don't know if you guys recall when I did an impromptu video of Eden Heights. There's a couple of buildings with a few condos available for those that are interested, and then I also showcased a lot of the amenities that the complex had to offer. And so I'm here again with Dale. We're going to dive into some other questions about the condo and offers that he has available. And then we'll get to know Dale a little bit more. I know you guys have seen other videos with Dale, but we want to dive into some other projects and things that Dale is working on. All right, so Dale, again, welcome. How are you doing?
Feeling good.
Wonderful. So I opt to come and stay here for a couple of days, Airbnb, for myself, so I can explain to everyone what a beautiful apartment this is that I'm staying in. And I'm going to be staying only for a few days, but I wish it was a little bit longer. So anyway, talk to me about who you are, Dale. Who is Dale in a brief bio, quickly?
Family is from the South, Alabama. My mother, and I say I bring this part up because it's interesting enough. It's a part of my family history that when I was being trained and working in white spaces, I was a little embarrassed about
where you're from and who you are?
Where I was from.
Really?
And so, as it turns out, full circle, how proud I am to wear my family's lineage as a badge of honor. Now, when people ask, I take it back to the origins. My people are from Alabama by way of North Carolina, slave route.
Right.
And my mother, born to a big family in Alabama, never graduated high school, picked cotton on a farm, and came to New York to do domestic work as an young adult, and had me. And I'm first generation, along with many of my cousins, first generation college graduate.
Wow.
First generation graduate school graduate. And so I was born and raised in New York City. Born in Queens, raised in Brooklyn. Wall Street career.
Okay.
Morgan Lehman, been running my own investment firm for almost 30 years now.
Wow.
And I'm here in Ghana by way of my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife was a pharmacist at Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn.
Very familiar.
She was burned out for many years, overworked. And while she was contemplating other things in life, COVID happened. The three big civil rights unrest murders happened: George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. I met Aubrey. And then the political unrest with Trump and his cronies. And she's very sensitive to these kinds of things, more than me.
Right.
And so she was like, we got to do something different.
And I can relate to that because that's one of the reasons why I made the choice that I've made as well.
So we came to explore in 2021. We had a 10-year plan.
Nice.
And when we got back home, every time we had dinner to discuss it, our 10-year plan was reduced by a year. So by Thanksgiving, we were like, we're moving next summer.
Wow. So it wasn't even a matter of, okay, honey, let's just keep the plan going. It's just, let's just go.
So moved here in September 22.
Wow.
Yeah. And my wife is temporarily retired. She needed to decompress, gather, nurture. Me, I got off the plane hitting the ground running. It's just how I am. It's in my DNA to get involved wherever I am, which is why it was not a hard thing for me to come to Ghana.
Right.
Wherever I am, I'll get into something. And so, unlike America, because Ghana is so, and we have people staying with us, and we had people stay with us last week, and people stayed the month before, and I tell the story over and over to these people coming over with their American mindsets. How come Ghana doesn't? How come no one? And I have to remind them that comparing a new infant, 70 years old-ish, with no parents to coddle it, they're comparing that infant to a helicopter parent, America, who stole from other places, free labor, hundreds of years of a head start. So I say, you can't compare. So a lot of and I only say that to say, a lot of the things that you might invest in or get involved in America aren't here yet.
Correct.
And so the opportunities are different. So the opportunities, instead of technology, intellectual property, intangible investments, here it's hard assets, dirt assets, real estate, agriculture, service industry. And so you have to pivot to what the landscape offers you in terms of opportunity. So a lot of my projects revolve around what's available here, which is real estate.
Which is real estate.
So, so that's it. I think that I'm part of a new wave of expat. I think there was a first wave of expats that came more so on a spiritual connection.
Right.
And they had different expectations of what they wanted from Ghana. And I think that I'm coming from a different place, and I think there's a lot more behind me ready to come. But I'm less on a spiritual connection here and more on a economic expansion mission.
Right. So you both, sorry to cut you, but you and your wife, so she's more on a spiritual based on what she was going through. So she's trying to clear her mindset, as you said, defragmentize herself. And then she's getting that spiritual connection where she can say, I'm at peace with my past, present, and now moving forward. And so she's taken on that mindset whereby you're like, okay, I wasn't really, and I don't know if you stressed that, but I wasn't really at a point where you felt like you were stressed out per se. You were at ease.
I was, and this is not to say New York City was easy.
No, of course not.
But I had zero intentions of ever leaving.
So your mindset was at ease.
Yeah.
You were already at a plateau where I'm okay with moving forward in the endeavors that I'm going through. And because I think it's because of that, when you got here, you were still in that mind and that role. And so you saw a different personality of Ghana that is common to you, where you can say, oh, there's some things there that I can do. And I can see those changes. And I can make those changes because of the experience that I have. So I'm okay. And so you went from at ease to being just at ease no matter where you are because of who you are. Yeah. And so that's an awesome deal. You know, she can still find her peace of mind, and so can you. Yeah. Without feeling as if, woe is me, I'm in a different country, or I'm in a different part of the world, and I don't know what to do. So you've taken it on where it's still a good fit for both of you. All right, so talk to me about, you know, I've looked around this condo. There's a lot of buildings here and a lot to offer. Talk to me about how you got into this and what does that mean for you and what does that look like for you?
So, you know, before we set foot here in Ghana in September of 21, my wife more so than me did a lot of research because our agreement was this. I said, look, I'll consider coming to Ghana and living
Mm-hmm.
on one condition. I don't want to come as a tourist.
Right.
I want to come to see if I can live. If we're considering living there, we're not going to be eating out at the fancy restaurants every night, hitting tourist spots. Let's just be. So our primary goal was to see as many housing options as possible.
Which is good.
And we both, when we met each other, I was in a big brownstone in Bed-Stuy. She was in a big mini mansion in South Jersey.
Oh, wow.
When we got together, we both admitted that we never wanted to own another home again. And I know
I can understand that completely, because I feel so at ease knowing that I have nothing holding me when I left the States. So I'm at ease. Whether it's a loss or a gain, it doesn't matter to me. I was fine.
So we came here and we wanted to replicate what we had in Brooklyn, which was a condo.
Right.
And so there's a lot of options in the city. We didn't want to live in the city.
Right.
We didn't want to live in the outskirts either. So we settled for something in between. And so here we are at Eden Heights, which is modern condo apartment-like living, close enough to the city where you can taxi in or drive in, but far away where you get money for your, value for your money. So it's a good compromise. And so this particular building complex estate is on 40 acres. It's funded by SNIT, Ghana's pension arm. 40 acres, one day it'll be 60-ish buildings, somewhere between 1,400, 1,500 apartments, world-class gym, recreation center. And so it's modern by Ghana standards for certain, but it's something that we were comfortable with not wanting to own things and fix things. But we have a lot of friends who want to come here and they want to buy and fix, and I support it. Me?
Not interested.
No. So that's where we settled on here, because the thing is with Ghana and housing is you can have anything you want here in Ghana.
It's true.
You just got to pay for it.
You just got to have the money.
A lot of people complain, I'm not going to say any names. They're friends of mine. I won't say that, but I remember some friends of ours on a YouTube channel said, we can't find any mattresses in Ghana. So we came here thinking we weren't going to be able to find any mattresses.
Really?
Yeah. Now, the Ghana mattress is flat and hard and affordable.
Very.
If you want the nice mattresses, it's going to cost you a little bit of money.
Of course.
And that's the thing.
But the option is here, though.
The option is
and
here.
A lot of people don't realize that there are options.
And that's what we find in all aspects of Ghana.
Yes.
Everything is here.
Everything.
Just got to pay for it. So it's the same thing here for, with this housing. You can find there are $1 million houses here in Ghana, right? So if that's what you want, you'll find it. I'm working with and maybe we'll get into that. I'm working with a real estate company where I don't even like to use the word house, but you can get a house for $20,000.
Built or already built?
Built. It's small.
It's like a tiny home.
It's a tiny home. But my point is, whatever your budget is,
it's here.
It's here.
And I agree with you. Even if you decide to build, you can still build a home for $20,000 and be comfortable. So it's, as you indicate, it's what are your preferences?
Right.
What do you want for yourself? You can't have beer money and want a champagne lifestyle.
That's right.
Just because the CD is in your favor.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's still money being spent.
Right.
So if you're able to compromise yourself to a point where I can live at a certain standard and you have the money for it, it's here.
Mm.
And you don't have to, and a lot of times people think that they have to stress and go hard, or, you know, I need to do this or I need to do that, and then create a situation for themselves where it's uncomfortable.
Mm.
And so now you're judgmental and pointing fingers and name calling. It's what we decide to get ourselves into that creates an outcome for us. So if you do your research, as you indicated, make your life simple. You can start small and work your way up, or you can dive in and just continue to move forward. So we'll talk about that, the home options. Okay, tell me about Vic's estate. Do you own a building, or do you own all the buildings, or are you managing? Tell me what's your role in this particular estate.
So we have a 4-bedroom penthouse. We have a 4-bedroom penthouse.
Right. Which is very nice, by the way.
Yeah. And the reason is we wanted to give our parents the option, if they so chose, to come live with us.
Correct.
Want the space for both my parent and her parents.
Right.
Her parents that are here right now living with us, staying with us for a month. And so we could have bought something smaller and had a lot more money in the bank, or you buy something big and we wanted to feel good, entertaining people, hosting people. And so we stretched the budget a little bit and bought something bigger, but totally satisfied with it. We also have an Airbnb.
Within the same building?
This one,
have one or two?
This one right here, we have, and then we have a friend from the States who bought an Airbnb that we're managing.
Okay.
So we're managing 2 Airbnbs, 2 3-bedroom Airbnbs.
Okay. So hold on. So you own your own penthouse?
Yes.
Within this one building?
This building.
And you also are managing currently 2 apartments.
2 3-bedrooms.
That's being rented out as Airbnb.
In this building, yes.
Okay. And so what about the other apartments within the building? Do you have any control over that, or any sort of a...
Well, I have an arrangement with this estate as well as a few other estates to market their inventory, their stock to our YouTube viewers, our social media followers, etc. A big part of what I'm trying to do, especially through our YouTube channel, is to show Americans who are on the fence, who are thinking about moving, like we were on the fence at one point. We did it. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Right. Showing is believing, right?
Right. The blueprint. And so a lot of anxiety resides around, where can I stay? Who can I trust? A lot of different rules and regulations around rent, around rental rights, home ownership rights. It's Mars and Venus, how different the things are back to the States.
Absolutely. And I've experienced the renting, and I'll tell people, it, like anything else, it has its positives and its negatives, right? Don't come here thinking you have, as you indicated, these rights to, I paid my money, so you should uphold the law. The law says ABC. No accountability. And it's not because they don't have the resources, they don't have the laws in place, but it's the resources and the money to be able to uphold a lot of these things. And so it's not to bash Ghana. It's just to show the facts that the
we're here.
are not there.
We're not bashing. We're here in spite of.
Absolutely.
But it's different.
It is different.
So, and so even some of the members in our Off the Wheel membership group
Mm-hmm.
who also see the value in maybe adding an Airbnb to their real estate / investment portfolio
Right.
are buying apartments in this building that I will manage.
Nice.
So,
So that's in process.
Right,
So
right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And so what I'll say to the viewers, the Airbnb marketplace in Ghana is growing.
Vastly growing.
Right. It's, Ghana wasn't on the map 8 years ago for most people. It was only for the super committed, super spiritual who were going to come to Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
But now with,
Booming.
entertainment in December, with people just coming to investigate, with all of the celebrity exposure that people are bringing,
Booming.
the Airbnb as an investment, return on your investment is appealing.
Yes.
So we have people who say, there are people who come once or twice a year, and for those people, it makes sense to have an Airbnb because they don't have to pay me money.
Right.
They're saving money. You come with two adults and 2 kids. You stay for 10 days. That could be $2,000.
But your mind is at ease. You don't have to do anything.
Right. So twice a year, you didn't pay someone $4,000.
Correct.
So because there's people coming to Ghana, like Black people in the States will go to Martha's Vineyard. People are coming to Ghana now. Like when we vacation, we used to go every year without fail, Punta Cana Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh yeah.
Had we known about Ghana we would have come here. So the traffic is coming, the interest is increasing.
Yes.
And so I would say if you got a little liquid and you're looking to park some money somewhere in terms of adding to your real estate portfolio, I would strongly consider Ghana Airbnb as an option.
Now, let me ask you this question. How many apartments are within this one building?
27 apartments in this
27 apartments. Okay. So, to the audience, there are options.
There are options.
So, are all of them 3 bedrooms?
In this particular building, there are. The next building over, there's 2-bedroom apartments.
Okay.
Right.
So, it's slated that this building is all 3 bedrooms, that building is all 2 bedrooms.
Right.
Do they have any 1-bedroom apartments?
They do, but in Ghana.
No, I'm saying in this estate.
Yes.
Okay.
But in Ghana, in this estate and in Ghana, all the 1-bedrooms are always purchased before a shovel hits the dirt.
That is so true.
Yeah. So you'll never see a 1-bedroom.
Oh, that's funny.
Unless it's after sale.
Wow.
Unless someone bought it for $50 and is selling it for $100, then you'll see a 1-bedroom. But you'll never see a 1-bedroom complete. The estate is complete and it's available for sale.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the Ghanaians jump all over it. Ghanaians, even more so than Americans, are very comfortable buying what we've learned, off-plan.
Yes.
Which is, it's just an image.
They see the site plan.
That's it.
They understand and they feel it.
Right.
They'll jump on it.
Right.
And they'll wait.
They're
patient in waiting for things to unfold.
Absolutely.
So if you're not a part of that mindset, then of course you're going to miss out.
And if you're not in the know, you'll miss out because not everyone gets the intel on what 1-bedrooms are coming at what location. True. So there are 1-bedrooms here, but
not necessarily available.
Right.
All right. Is it possible to talk about price?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So tell me, and we're going to only focus on this building, right? Because this is a building that I'm in. There are several others, but I want to give them an idea of what the pricing would look like. And so
So
talk about the price.
the 3-bedroom apartments are $170,000.
Okay. And it's all, and talk about the layout.
Yeah.
What are they getting for 170?
3 spacious bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Balcony, kitchenette, washer, dryer combo unit, master bathroom in the primary bedroom, a second full bath for the other 2 bedrooms to share, and then a guest half bath.
Okay.
And so it's about 1,100 square feet. And all of the apartments share in the amenities. We have guaranteed water. Each unit comes with a hot water tank, backup generator, so we never experience electrical outages. When it's lights out, you'll see a little flicker, and that means your backup generator has kicked in. And so that's what you get for the 3-bedroom. And in this particular complex that I live in, that we're talking about, the arrangements, the financial arrangements are you get possession. $5,000 can hold your unit.
Oh, that's not bad.
And freeze your price. And then you got to start paying on it. But you get possession at 50% of 170. Then you get the keys, so you can live in it yourself, or you can Airbnb it, and then you have 2 years to pay off the balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about backup generator. That's constant, right? And did we mention that there's an elevator that functions even when the lights are out throughout the city? It still functions for those that are in and out of here?
Yeah, well, what happens is because there's a momentary flicker on the elevator, if there's ever lights out, the elevator automatically goes to the ground floor, gathers itself, and then can resume.
Once the generator kicks in.
Well, the generator kicks in before it even gets to the ground floor.
Oh, that's good.
But it just resets itself on the ground floor for safety reasons.
Yes.
And then once it gets to the ground floor, the backup generator has already kicked in, and then it resumes operations.
Is the water, I think I may have missed it, the water is on city water, or it's?
No, we have our own borehole in the mountain behind us.
In the mountain behind us, just one borehole?
I think so.
But it filters the entire building.
Yeah, because the water gets down here and it gets into the water tanks, fills up the water tanks, and then the water tanks fill up the apartments.
Oh, so each apartment has its own water tank, or is it
the big one in the back?
Nice.
But I think there's also, and I haven't even cared to really vet this out, but I think if something ever happens to the borehole, we also have the city attachment as well. But we've never had a water problem ever.
And how long have you lived here?
A year and a half. September 22. Okay.
That's nice. Wow. I mean, that makes a difference, because a lot of times when the water is off, it's quite frustrating.
I understand. All of my friends, got the big garbage can of water as a precaution.
An option, a resource option.
But here, we always have guaranteed water, guaranteed hot water.
Are these apartments furnished, or all the ones that are available unfurnished?
All unfurnished.
Unfurnished. Yeah. Only the Airbnb apartments are furnished by the owner.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that makes sense. Okay, I think, is there anything else you want to add about your Eden Heights apartment or Eden Heights estate?
Well, just for people to view, to see with their eyes, you can visit us on Airbnb's website.
Yes, that's correct.
Our address is called Off the Wheel. So it's airbnb.com/H off the wheel. And you'll see one of our three-bedroom apartments, along with pictures from the rec center, the gym center. We have tennis courts here. We have pools, racquetball courts, soccer field, outdoor basketball courts. So you'll see all of those images on our Airbnb listing.
Give me the Airbnb address again, and I'm going to put it in the description box below, but I also want to make sure they hear it.
Okay.
So it's airbnb.com.
Airbnb.com/h/off the wheel.
Perfect. And I'll put that in the description box below as well. Okay, so let's talk about the tiny home project that you mentioned earlier. How are you affiliated with that, or are you just mentioning?
So it's just one option. So a better thing to talk about would be what I created for the barrage of requests for assistance for people coming over here feeling anxious about housing. So I created a housing hub. It's called GhanaHousingOptions.info. And so if you go to that site, anything housing related will be something that you can consider, use as research, use as a starting place, or choose from. So if you're looking for a condo like this to rent, there's a link there. If you're looking like a condo like this to buy, there's a link there. If you're looking to buy land and build your own home, we have arrangements with certain areas and builders in those areas to deliver well-built homes in less than a year.
And I have something similar that I'm doing as well, because most of my videos are pertaining to the pros and cons of coming into Ghana, where to buy land, how to go about buying land, some of the the things that people have encountered, the things to look out for. And so, just like you, I want people to have an understanding that when they come to Ghana, it doesn't have to be difficult. Utilize the resources that are presented to you the best way you can. And you're creating a website that's going to provide information. I'm creating my YouTube videos, website, and all that to be able to say, look, these are the things that are available. And that's why I do these type of interviews. I have people from different areas that I've interviewed with different development options. And so I think people need to really start paying attention to the sincerity of those that are willing to spend time to give you the information you need in order for you to be able to feel more comfortable transitioning from the States, from the West to Ghana.
That's true, but some people need to learn the hard way too.
Yeah, and I realize that you can't, you can tell them all day long, oh, listen, take 10 steps to the right.
Some people need to see for themselves and lose some money. Yeah.
I hate to say it, and I hate to be that way too, but you're absolutely right. Because you can tell them till you're blue in the face, go down to Takoradi, here's the immigration office to get your Ghana card, and they'll go around the wheel and then come back and say, oh, but I had to pay this and you're not listening.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the project.
So just to recap that, so Ghana Housing Options.
And that's a website.
So website, GhanaHousingOptions.info. So homes for purchase, apartments for rent, condos for purchase, Airbnbs, whatever.
Land.
Yeah. Well, I get less involved in the land and I hand it off. Yeah. All the other things I'm a little more involved in, and I'll hold your hand.
Correct.
And walk you through.
Correct.
But the land, I can refer you to some places, and you'll have to do your own due diligence.
Correct.
And make your own choices.
Absolutely.
At your own level of comfort.
Yeah, that's true.
But the other thing that's recent, you and I talked about a little bit, that is also on GhanaHousingOptions.info is my current project, which is where I spend most of my brain and bandwidth working on, and that's building a capital R small s, a retirement community / senior community here in Ghana for Black Americans looking to move to Ghana that don't necessarily want to buy land and build, but want to plug right into community, want to have a little more flexibility around their budget, who may not want to spend all of their money that they've saved on land and build, or might not have it to even spend on land and build. Or for some people who will eventually buy land and build, sometimes it's best to come
and just sit.
And just sit for a minute. Read the room.
Yes.
Check out the landscape.
Yeah.
Don't rush. And so there's going to be a big transition population that comes through our project as well. But so that's called Monarch Village.
I can't tell you how many times I try to tell people, okay, just take a step and find your niche, right? Some people, I've met people that have come here and right away things are moving and popping and it works. And sometimes you come here and things are moving and popping.
And you pop. And you pop.
It doesn't work, right? And then you have those that have been able to just kind of steadfast, work their way through the process. There's some ups and downs, but they're able to manage it a little bit tighter, have a little bit more control over what they are able to give and receive. And so I think you have to know yourself. When you come to Ghana, I tell people, you have to know who you are and what it is that you really truly want. Then you, as you indicated, add that, read the room before you take a step. Right? So what you're saying is absolutely correct, and I'll let you pick up from there.
Yeah, so Monarch Village, the website is monarchvillage.live. And the thinking behind even the name is, as you'll come to discover in the future as I unravel and reveal my projects, all of my projects are butterfly related. And the monarch butterfly actually lives the longest of all the butterflies and travels the furthest. And so I thought it was a good name for us Black Americans who are living long and traveling quite a bit to get here to Ghana. And so that's what that is, a retirement. And I say small SC, you're living, because I have investment clients who have put a lot of years into a job, 20 years, and get their full pension, and are not even 48 years old yet. So they're not seniors, but they're retired. So it's a retirement community / senior community. And I'm in the early stages of creating that. Actually, I'm doing the SEC regulated capital raise in the States, where I've been in the process of getting my investors together who see this as a good opportunity to receive attractive returns for this initial pilot location, as well as some possible expansion locations. So that's the biggest thing that I'm working on right now.
Do you have where exactly is this going to take place? Do you already have the land space for that?
Well, interestingly enough, because of another project, a bigger project, I've been looking at land for the last year and a half.
Really?
Let's say the last year and 2 months. And so the number of chiefs that I've met with, the number of schnapps and Casapreco offerings I've had to bring, and the number of rituals that I've gone through, miraculous. So I'm very aware of where kind of litigation-free options are. The closer you stay in the center of Accra, the more you'll be fighting someone in court over land.
Of course.
The further away you are outside of the center,
a bit more ease.
Things are easier. Not easy, but easier. Things are more cut and dry because you're dealing with the original stewards of the land, families and chiefs.
Absolutely.
And here in Ghana, a lot of business transactions have the extra complexity of having to also defer to cultural norms,
right,
as well as contractual. In America, everything's about the contract.
Right, absolutely.
Purchaser and buyer don't even have to meet.
True.
Lawyers can handle it. The courts will affirm it. The courts will litigate it if there's a problem. In Ghana, things are a little different.
Yeah, you have to go down the street, stop at everybody's house, say hi, greet, dash, this, that, and the other.
Dash.
Yeah.
So in case you missed it, dash. She said dash.
We're not throwing dice.
Right. And so you have to, when in Rome. And so, so I've seen a lot of land options. And so for this particular project, I've narrowed it down to primarily two locations. One, a little north of Insawam.
Oh, never heard of that.
Yeah.
Still in Central or in Accra?
That is, that's going into, it might be, it's Central. I forget if it's Central or Eastern, but it's north of Achibota Mall. Because there's a big settlement of people who are doing business in Sahum. The Black Hebrew Israelites have found a chief who was very comfortable in doing business with foreigners, and have come up with systems, and so I had chosen that location because these guys have been building up in that area for 6, 7, 8 years now.
Oh, really?
No problems.
Really?
And by now you'd have seen a problem.
Of course.
And so, and so that was a location. And then another location for me is, past Kaswa going into Winneba. The prices are affordable there. They're expanding the highway.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
it's a big undertaking.
Yeah, it's a big undertaking. And the prices are probably going to pop.
Yeah, any day now.
Any day now because of that expansion. And so right now you can still get some affordable things close to me right now. So so those are my two locations. I got one in mind. I'm biased towards, but but those are the two finalists.
I may have another option for you, but we'll talk about that later. And so
for Monarch for Monarch Village, as an investor, you can consider if the returns on investment calculations are something that might work for you. Would love to have you as an investor.
Okay.
As a potential resident, if you're a retired person or a senior person and you're looking to make a move in the next 1 to 3 years, this project will be ready for you.
This is nice.
Should you want to choose to come in and join the family as a resident.
And what is going to be the attraction? Not just because it's slated for retirees or seniors or whomever. What's going to be the big attraction for your potential clients so that they can see that, okay, you know what, this is attractive enough for me to say I may want to get one or two space. What is that?
Well, hold on. This is rental only.
Oh, it's rental
only. No purchase. No purchase.
No purchase.
Right, because what happens is, I know my wife hates for me to hear this. She hates when I say this, but the people who are in real estate primarily are looking to make money only.
Yes.
And so how you make money here in Ghana is you build for X, you do some nice finishes, and you sell for 10X.
Right.
And you make a lot of money. And my real estate friends are making a lot of money. I'm not really interested in doing a project to make money only. I'm thinking of something bigger.
Okay.
Everything that I do is a means to an end. The end for me is to bring people like me over with some expertise and a little bit of money, and to see what can we do collectively with our capital and with our good intentions.
Yes.
And so housing.
Keyword good intentions. Please, I beg.
Yeah, because we're all coming with different agendas over here.
Yes.
And the Ghanaians like to throw us in one pot, the Americans, but we couldn't be more different.
Absolutely.
100 people coming through immigration, we all got different reasons of why we want to be here.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, me personally, when I tell my investors, you got to be careful having me as your primary investment partner. In America, I was all about squeezing every dollar and dime out of every deal at the expense of whatever. That's the American way. That's capitalism.
Yes.
Here in Ghana, I want to return money to my investors, but I won't do it at the expense of Ghanaians.
I like that.
Not only that, for the profits that I make, a lot of the profits that I make, and I don't really say this a lot because I don't want people to come on board because of this. I want people to come on board because of just the returns. But me and you talking, if I can't go into an area, a community, or a village and not improve the lives of the tens of thousands around
community,
then I'm not interested.
I'm wasting my energy, I'm wasting my time, and I'm being selfish.
Right. Because we all got things we want to do in life. Look, I can sit on my balcony and not take on burden of all the drama and stress and construction delays that are about to come. I can have an easy life. I'm choosing to deal with this stress because I see the magic of our American super dollar, what we've accumulated in terms of knowledge and expertise in our respective industries in the States, and what we can do with the people on the ground here who have the insights. I believe that we can create magic and money together. And so not every investor wants to hear that. Some people just want to be like, I don't care about those Ghanaian people. I want to make money. This is the wrong project for you. If you want to make money and you want to impact lives, this is the perfect project. So to answer your question, there's going to be several things that stand out as reasons why you should consider this community to become a resident of. Because there's a lot of places you could go. In the city, in the bush, in the mountain, down by the beach.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, a lot of places.
On an island, I have a friend who owns an island. The options are vast and many.
So here, number one is community. Support and things that you're kind of accustomed to. So the community.
Family.
Is
that family away from family?
Because a lot of times what happens is you'll go buy your little plot of land, you'll build, and then...
And you're secluded.
and then you're lonely.
And you're by yourself.
And you're by yourself. And I would say, from my estimation, I'm going to say 65% of Black Americans who come to Ghana are single women over 50.
And they're by themselves.
And they're by themselves.
Secluded
right.
in a home that
so,
they think that they're happy in
right.
because it brings them peace to be able to have vegetation, this and the other. But at the end of the day, before you close your eyes at night, all you're hearing is the roosters crowing, the crickets, and your body.
So there is a really attractive appeal to being a rental resident of Monarch Village, and then sharing in the communal activities
and responsibilities
of the community.
Yeah.
So, like, we will have a cafeteria where people will eat and meet if they choose. You can stay in your apartment, or you can choose to. We'll have a game room. We'll have a theater room. Because my wife is a pharmacist, and a big part of making the decision to come over to Ghana is
medical.
Trying to figure out, does Ghana have your medications?
Right.
Can
access to the right equipment.
Can I get the right dosages? And so health care will be front and center. Yeah. And we have early arrangements with some world-class, in many cases, board certified people who are doing work here in Ghana and the States, who will be bringing their expertise on demand to the premises for our residents. Also, because my background is Wall Street, I plan to have a money center on premises. So a lot of anxiety also for Black Americans is, how do I get my money from American Bank to my Momo account here in Ghana? Because apps are always changing. The Bank of Ghana is always putting people on a list, taking people off. People are worried about trying to still grow their retirement account. So my expertise in money and the creation of a money center will bring a lot of comfort to our residents.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. I know it's a big deal.
Especially with how things are changing in the United States when it comes down to money and the value of the dollar.
Yeah.
And if you're able to put people's mind at ease, not necessarily saying pull all your money out of your Roth IRA and then bring it here. No, it's a matter of how do you move that money around so that you can still gain the value of what you've saved and put away for your retirement for however long you're going to be here. So
you have health covered.
Yep.
You have money covered.
Yep.
You have community covered. And so other things that, let's say, Ghanaian, with all due respect, that I want to be beating up my Ghanaian developers, but they just don't account for certain things. Like you've moved around Ghana. You know that building for disability / mobility challenged people is non-existent here.
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist here.
Unless you have to be on their case to explain to them, you need to incorporate this. You may, even in the commercial stores and everything, you may see it in certain big stores, but it's not evident in all.
And so you buy a house, your walker, or your wheelchair,
or whatever kind of mobility that you think you have,
on those roads, on with no ramps.
Yep.
And so Ghanaian developers typically do not build with ADA compliant sensitivities.
And I'm going to give you something when we get off camera. We'll talk about something that I learned while I was working at the university about ADA. So there's a couple of things that you can incorporate in this if you haven't thought about it already that I can share with you.
Okay. I probably have thought about it.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yes.
And also, Um, so what I like about the money part is that's, like some developer could see what another developer is doing and steal some. Like that's one thing that can't be replicated because I'm the investment guy. So that's a feature that can't be replicated. But there's also some other little things that I think there's some nice touches on that residents will be um, excited about, which is communal shared transport options. So if you don't have a car, if you have a car, you'll be okay. If you don't have a car, you won't be stranded. And I'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But so there's a lot of things that are going to really be attractive for someone coming from the States who doesn't want to be secluded,
right?
Who wants familiar amenities, who wants mobility challenges incorporated from from jump in the design and the building of the infrastructure. And so I think these are going to be really appealing features for people to come and stay.
I like it. I like it. It sounds really, really good. And it sounds like a healthy living lifestyle. And people may not realize, but they need this. Everybody comes and they want to build these huge mansions, as you indicated, far out in the woods, and think they're happy right now, but you still are going to get older. And I've seen it before. Even in Jamaica, they go to the top of the hill, they build a beautiful mansion, and after about, say, 10 years or so, when they're unable to move about, their family doesn't want any part of it because nobody wants to be traveling back and forth. The initial interest was there, but then as time passes, their interest changes. And so that changes. Home and that $1 million home that you have in Jamaica does not appeal to them anymore, because now the economy has changed, the world has changed, their mindset has changed.
Your body has changed.
Your body has changed, and so your options shift and changes, and so they don't want to have anything to do with it. And so what do you do then? Do you abandon your home, or you live in your home by yourself? Who's going to take care of you? Because we are going to get to a point where someone has to be able to take care of us. We would like to believe that we're going to be living forever and strong and healthy and beautiful, but no, we will get to a point where we'll need to be in a space where we're going to have to rely on someone. And the more amenities that are available to you as we get older is going to be more beneficial for us in believing that this is the right decision for me.
Yeah.
And having people around that are honest and able to do their part is that level of comfort, right?
Yeah.
So, you being able to offer these amenities at the Monarch Village will be an asset. A lot of people may not see it right now, but you'll be surprised. 5 years from now, you're going to be like, you know what? I should have.
Yeah.
So I'm just here to say, not that it's because of you, but it's important for us to get to a point where our reality is as such that we are going to get older.
And this option is not a bad reality option.
No, it's not.
It's not like.
It doesn't have to be for a certain age group. It can be for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what I got from what
But you're not going to like it if you want to come rent there and some 30-year-old is renting from you. You won't like it.
It all depends. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised about people that are 30, 40, 50, what they are willing to accept.
I'm just saying that if I have no spots and a 30-year-old took your last spot.
That's true. If a 30-year-old come and take a spot.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's true. Dale, thank you for that. I appreciate that. No, I know you've talked about your yam farm in the past. So are you done with the Monarch Village? Done talking about?
Yeah, so just to wrap up the Monarch Village,
Yeah.
um, if you are a person and you want to diversify your investment portfolio in asset class, meaning you've never been into real estate, this is something to consider.
Okay.
If you want to diversify in geography outside of the States into one of the safest places to invest in Africa, in West Africa, which is Ghana, all the conditions are lining up for it to be a good place for your capital to come.
Yep, that's true.
So as a potential investor, I will say to you, if you're ever coming to Ghana, come on by and I can get into some of the details. I can hop on a Zoom call. Would love to have your capital if, we're on the same frequency of profits and people. Would love to have you on board. And if you're thinking about moving to Ghana and you're a little hesitant and I might not have it built before this election coming up fast enough. But if you can hold on till next year,
right.
It's something to consider because the rental prices will be such that after you pay your rent from a typical pension and a typical Social Security check, I know what the averages are. After you pay your rent here in Ghana, the money that you have left over will go far because of how our dollar is against the African countries.
First of all, you didn't even tap into the part that the rent cost here in Ghana definitely differ from the rent cost in the United States. Far less.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people are not recognizing. Because you may get a Social Security or a pension for, say, $3,000, $5,000. By the time you finish paying rent,
and that's a big check, $3,000 or $5,000.
Right.
I was looking at that's on the high end. I was looking at like an average $1,800, $2,000 check, but which can't do anything in America.
No, not at all.
And every day that goes by does less in America. And here in Ghana, with whatever you pay in rent, whether you pay low, mid, or even high, the money that you have left over will go further.
Key point, you will have money left over.
You will have money left over.
Yes.
And so, so for residents, I'm more than willing to show you some budget examples of how your financial situation could play out here. I mean, look, like my wife tells people all the time, if you want to come to Ghana and eat in Osu and Laboni and cantonments every night, you'll feel like you're living in New York City and you'll be broke, right?
Within a week.
Within a week. So there are American prices here. But if you come here and you're level-headed and you pick and choose your spots where you have a little entertainment, but then the other 95% of the time, you're shopping at the markets, you're making sure your money will go far, a long way. And so some people will have to come to Ghana because they have to come to Ghana. They don't have a choice. And some people will come because you're in a certain income bracket here in America, and when you come to Ghana, you feel a little more relieved. It's like the weight has been lifted because your fixed income gives you a different kind of lifestyle, right? So
you can stretch it. You're right. If you budget properly and you, as you say, read the room, know where you're able to spend less or more, and if you manage your money accordingly, you will have enough to keep you going.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't have to feel like you're pinching.
Right.
Or you're penny pinching.
Right.
So if you're able to see that, the value of what is available to you, you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Right? Without compromising a certain lifestyle. So I agree with you. Budgeting is key. Focusing, because that's what I have to do. You have to focus.
We all do.
Right.
We all do.
Absolutely.
We all do. So that's from the investment point of view and the resident point of view. I think we've covered everything in Monarch Village. We'd like to have you on board, whichever one you are, an investor or a resident.
Yes, I agree. And I think, I showcase a lot, as I told you, a lot of different developments. And people don't get confused. I want to say this, manage yourself, know how you spend money and what's going to look best for you as far as how long your money can stretch. If you invest in Dale's Monarch community and you know for sure, okay, I'm locked in, I don't have to worry about this, I can do other things. So just know how to manage yourself, manage your budget. And Dale, you offering a budgeting plan is something that I don't know if you want to think about doing a YouTube video once about specific income and then how.
I do have it planned.
Yeah.
Because I did do a YouTube video in my season 1, because we're in the 3rd season now. Oh, season 1, I think episode 2 or 3, where I say Americans should adjust their retirement plan. And instead of saving for retirement, Black Americans should consider saving for Ghana. Right. And I do a little macro overview. I don't get too molecular like I will on the topic that you're suggesting. The budget, the worksheet, work through some numbers. So, that's coming.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Is that a service that you would consider providing to diasporans coming in?
So watch how crazy this is.
And is that a fee? Is there a fee?
Watch how crazy this is. So I'm a believer in if you're doing okay in life, you don't have to try to make money off of everybody every time. And so what I will say is this is going to be, because I don't want to get into trouble of offering something free, this is going to be as close to $1 as I can, so there can be some kind of exchange and everything can be legit, but it's basically free. Because I don't need to make money off of this service if the service can get you into our community. So a lot of things will be either free-ish or fractional cost. Yeah.